What's going on, my homies? My name is Leo Coys. I'm part of Colorado Spurs and a diehard Tottenham Hotspur fan. Thank you guys for joining me on this episode number 40, if I'm not mistaken. First of all, I just want to say big up to everybody. My homie Parker is missing in action today, so I had to call in some reinforcements. And of course, my homie's always glad to help me out. Bobby K, how you doing, my homie?
I'm well, little homie. How you doing?
Chilling, bro, chilling. Now that I was just looking at my hat, bro, the Broncos are playing today, and I didn't even remember until earlier today when I was when I was stuck in traffic, and I was like, holy shit, what's all this traffic from?
What
Everybody
time did
going
they
to the
play?
bars. It's at 6. I think it was at
Why
6. I
would they
had
be
just left
playing on
downtown, and
Thursday?
so everything. Uh, Today is, I think they do like the Monday night game, the one game they do one on Thursday night.
I that's
So
how little I've been watching football.
yeah, no,
You
for
know,
sure. So
I
getting out
watched
of
half of the
downtown
Bills
was
game,
hectic.
but I watched some of that. I was debating actually doing a pregame thing for that because I'm a Bills fan, right? And it was at Tottenham Stadium.
Yeah,
But
that's right,
unfortunately, that
bro.
was
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Day here, so I had plans pretty much all day. So, oh well, it is what it
Yeah.
is. End up missing it.
I think there might be another football game there this weekend too. The Baltimore Ravens, I think, I've been seeing a lot of their social media stuff that they have going, and they have the
They're
Baltimore
playing at
Ravens out there
Tottenham.
now. Yeah, I think they are because I just seen Ange Postecoglou and the coach from the other team. They exchanged their jerseys. It's
Oh,
actually a
okay,
nice little
cool,
photo that they did.
nice.
Um,
Yeah,
before we
more
go any
money, more
further,
money, more
I
money.
know,
Be nice when we
yeah,
see it on
for
the pitch.
sure, bro.
Hopefully, we
I
see it
hope so,
invested in
Bobby.
January.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll dive into that actually. The hiring of Big Lange, right?
Big
I've been
Lange,
hearing
yep.
Big Lange going around. Yeah, so we'll dive into that, which definitely entails some movements in January.
Hopefully, we're
And
not diving too deep, man, because other than his name, I don't know much about the guy.
hey, no, we'll just dive into the whole situation. Maybe we know that he did good work at Villa, right? He's gotten some good transfers over the line at Villa. So I mean, can that translate over to us getting some good players? Who knows?
We'll
But
find out.
first, I do want to say happy birthday to Ledley King. I know
Yes,
over there in England, it's not his birthday anymore, but today is still your birthday. So he's my
in
favorite player. So
Colorado
big
and
up
here
to
in
Ledley
Canada,
King.
it's still your birthday, so happy birthday.
Still your birthday.
And you
So
like
happy
that guy
birthday,
just a
Ledley
little
King.
bit, don't you?
What's that,
I said you like that guy just a little bit.
bro?
Hey,
Uh,
Jacob, what's
Talking
up,
about a
buddy?
guy I do like. Big up, Jacob. United Spurs of America. Big up. I do. Ledley King's my favorite player. I mean, his one and only club, right, was Tottenham. Um, I just, they just don't make players like him anymore in the sense that like his mentality was Tottenham through and through, right? We thought maybe Harry Kane would be that type of player, and the last great player we had like that was Ledley King, bro. That said, you know what, I'm gonna stick it out and I'm gonna stay here because let's be real, bro. If he had two knees, he could have gotten to play just about anywhere if he really wanted to.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
So
what a player, man. What a
yeah,
player to be able to do
and
what
so
he
I
did
call
without
him,
being able to train and with only one knee.
yeah, yeah. What a savage,
You
bro.
know,
Just show up for game time and just go.
and go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
savage.
Well, it's like that.
Yeah,
There was that whole thing about Jamie Vardy. The night before a game, he would go for pizza and beers.
yeah.
I don't
Has
know if it was the
actually
night before or if that was the pre-game meal. But
the Red
yeah,
Bulls and shit like that was
he
his
was known
pregame.
to, yeah, pretty much live it up and do the opposite of what they're told to do, and seemed to work for him. So hey, whatever
Yeah,
works. We had managers taking ketchup away, and look how that turned out.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so
Jamie Vardy, I seen like a little mini doc about him, and they were talking about how he was on ankle monitor one time throughout his
well, he's a right little shit. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, he had an ankle monitor, so he literally had to leave the game in the 60th minute to then drive home and get there before his curfew.
nice.
So yeah, big up. That's
Don't
funny.
doubt it, man. Yeah, there's been
Yeah.
some troublesome players over the years, man, but it seems like we got good ones now.
What would you say has been like you could say the last person that kind of at Spurs held that title being like not Lamela being like the shit house on the field, but I'm talking about like just do we ever hear anything about that besides Hugo Lloris being, the drunk driving and shit like that? Other players
No,
that
I
kind
think we're
of
pretty fortunate like that in terms of off-field incidents. it seems we have a pretty good handle of that. What we had an issue with Udogi and something about him in his car in Italy, right? So
Yeah, 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 yeah.
there was that. I can't remember what that was.
Richarlison, or
Did
not
was he
Richarlison.
intoxicated? Was he intoxicated, or was he just getting
I
an
don't think
accident?
he
I don't even know what
was.
happened, to be honest. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think he was
But
drunk.
something
It would
stupid.
have
He's
been a bigger
18. He's
deal.
19, driving a $300,000 car. He did something stupid. He didn't kill nobody.
Yeah,
Hopefully, he learned from it. End of the day, it's all that matters. Larice, fortunate enough, he got caught with a couple of drink and driving there, and thankfully, he didn't hurt
yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
I will accept an 18-year-old making a stupid mistake with his supercar versus a 25 or 26-year-old player that's been in the league for a while going and being accused of rape and stuff like that, which seems to be the norm
Mm,
now. We're hearing more about
mm.
these the abuse towards women and obviously the inappropriate conduct. But yeah, there's things that are unacceptable, and then there's things you got to look at the fact that they're kids still, man. These guys, a
Mhm.
lot of them are a lot younger than you and I,
Yeah.
so they do
Well,
stupid
and
things.
honestly, to kind of play the flip side of the coin, Bobby, when you do have a lot of money and nice cars, and you go out and live a fast life like that, the people, the company that you're around, it's probably not the best. So I mean, it all depends, how the morale is, I guess, within the club too, right? It depends on how the players do outside, how good of a grasp does the gaffer have
Well,
on
that
the
really
on the
comes down to
team
how
or
well is the club doing in terms of managing and monitoring the player and their behavior, right? It seems to be that's one thing that they've got right over here. So keep it up.
I remember last year, there was the incident with Emerson Royale. Went home back to Brazil for a little bit. Was out clubbing really late. Had his jewelry on, and thank God they didn't kill him that night because he was easily things could have easily went the other way. I don't know if you remember that, Bobby.
I don't actually. I didn't even hear the story.
Yeah, he went out to a nightclub, bro. He went home. Emerson Royale
Yeah,
went back home, and was robbed was I guess either robbed or attempted to get robbed for his watch, right? Because he was flaunting his jewelry and shit like
yeah, yeah,
that. And
yeah.
this was like at 3 in the morning, and his bodyguard and the guy actually got into a gunfight. So there was shots
Sure.
fired,
I can't
and
believe
he
I didn't
was
hear
right
this
there.
story at all. Normally, Jay's really good at, or Little K is pretty good at bringing stuff like this to me on the internet all the time because they're always reading about Tottenham stuff and everything, and
Yeah,
he'll
it
bring me
was a
stuff like
while
that.
back,
I
but
can't believe
still.
I didn't hear about this at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro, true story.
yeah, good thing he got away lucky. But that's not what he's out enjoying his life. He's not
Hmm.
causing trouble. Trouble
Hmm.
seems to have found him. So can you really fault him for that? Okay,
More
yeah,
money, more problems, bro.
the judgmental people that can break the situation down and micromanage it right down to the point. Well, why was he wearing his fancy watch in a poor area or flaunting and showing off and this and that? Well, what's the point of being wealthy if you can't kind of enjoy it, right? So I,
Yeah.
I know if I had the money, man, and I could rock a $20,000 watch just for a laugh, I probably wouldn't because I'm not a watch guy. But I would buy stupid things for myself. I'm sure, like all of us would.
Of
So
course. Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's just it all depends on how focused I guess the players are. Um, Bobby, let's chat a little bit about the season so far, bro. Last week I was asking the Parker and the homie we had on. Um, we have had, I guess, a sufficient bite size now to see whether we like what we see or not. You all right, bro? What's up there? I don't see anything.
oh, sorry, I was just looking at the top of the league. I see Tottenham.
Oh, you motherfucker, that was a good one.
Ah!
I'm like, bro, is there a shooting star or something? Yeah, that was a good one, homie. Yeah, so, but
We are
that's
way
that's how
above
it's.
where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be in a relegation battle, fighting for the middle of the table. We lost our we hired a no name manager from no name leagues, from Mickey Mouse
Mhm,
leagues. He was going to come in and do nothing for us. We were toxic. We'd been just completely deflated of any kind of football ability. We lost our talisman. We lost our captain. We lost, arguably at the time, our highest signing player was a flop. We were just a complete frigging mess. We've got players that are hitting 10-year anniversaries that are still hanging around like bad
mhm.
furniture, that are not up to speed. Everything was just completely disjointed going into this season. I don't know about you, but I know myself as a fan, I held little hope. I was only excited about the Ange appointment because of Paul Beatty. If the
Yeah.
hippie Hotspur didn't consistently bang the drum about how wonderful this guy was, I wouldn't have known anything about him. So Paul, I remember seeing David, the Irish Hotspur, as well, kind of piped him up a little bit, and I'm glad they were right. This guy has not only been a breath of fresh air, but he's been a whole frigging windstorm, hasn't he? You know, the whole culture at the club has changed within 8 games. He's swept away almost all the negativity that was in the fan base. I'm sure it'll come back as soon as we lose. We suffered 2 losses in a row, and we're going to see the YouTube community fall apart. Some people, and we're going to be attacked by other fans saying, "Ha ha ha, Spursy flopping this and that." And at the same time, they're the ones that are going to look kind of stupid because I'm sure they're the ones at the beginning of the season said we're going to be 10th, 12th, 16th, and we're punching way above that. The best part of it, Leo, is we're playing good football, attractive football, fun to watch football, exciting football. We've had a few poor games, Sheffield, okay, not too wonderful. Brentford draw, again, lucky penalty to them. We could have taken Arsenal if they didn't get that own goal and a penalty as well. We're winning against Liverpool in a tight game where they pretty much put 14 people in the box when they only had 9 on the pitch. We had to get results against Luton the same way, man down, and then them parking the bus on us kind of thing and just playing the counterattack. Thank God they couldn't finish. They haven't been pretty wins, but they've been results I don't think we would have got in the previous 3 managers, or I should say 5 if you want to throw Stellini and Mason in the count between Nuno, Conte, and Mourinho. So I just really like the fact that we are where we are. I know there's a big debate with people laughing at us for those few of us that are deluded enough to think that we are in a title race now, this and that. Well, at the end of the day, how can you say we're not? We're at the top of the food chain. We're sitting in first place. Where do you have to be to win the title? In first place, where we are. So, yeah, we are in a title race right now. 30 games to go. There's a long season. Injuries will come. That 7-game span we've got coming up in December is going to hit us, especially, we look at that squad and we know across the front 3, we might have an extra option or 2 with Solomon and Johnson out right now. We're hurt there. In the midfield is the only place I can see we've got at least some decent options. The drop off between the qualities and too high. But then we get into that back line. You're swapping out Udogie for Ben Davies. You're swapping out potentially Van de Ven for Ben Davies or even Eric Dyer, maybe Ashley Phillips. Same thing on the other side. Romero then is replaced by Dyer, or maybe Royale comes in as a right center back. Who knows? Then what's the other side? With Porro, you got Royal there. So Royal and Porro are the only players that I see that might actually be close quality wise. If we're forced to play Davies or Dyer, we got a real problem coming up, man. And that's kind of where we got to really ride our luck and hope that our medical team, which is known to be absolutely shit, can keep their stuff together and keep our players fit and on the pitch.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know what to fucking say after that, Bobby K. You kind of just wrapped it all up,
Well,
bro.
I had more, man. If I just felt bad that I kept going on there for so long, man. And look at the players we've bought in, fantastic buys. Players
Yeah.
that are actually making a difference as well. I'd like to argue that the whole back line has been bought this season because we brought in Vicario, we brought in Van de Ven. We already had Udogie come in because he was just coming back from a loan, and Porro was here from January.
But
So
he's new. But Udogie to us is a fresh signing, even though
well,
he
that's what
was
I'm
out on
saying.
loan,
This
right?
is his
Yeah.
his he's starting
Mm-hmm.
with us now. Van de Ven is starting with us now. Vicario is starting with us.
Mm-hmm.
Porro now is playing in a back 4
Mm-hmm.
as a right back, not a right wing back. So he's starting for us.
Mm-hmm.
Romero is now starting for us. Why is he now starting for us? Because he's not playing right center back, right wing back,
Yeah.
and center back. He can
He's
rely on
probably
these
more
2 guys
comfortable.
now to do their jobs. So he's
Yeah.
calmer. He's playing smarter football. He's not making those rash, stupid challenges that gets him the cards and risks us going down a man in a game and stuff. He's looking a lot more confident. Them 2 together, that partnership, it's just
It's lovely.
it's a beautiful thing right now, isn't it?
It's
They're
almost as beautiful thing as you and Coops, bro. Not
oh,
gonna lie.
okay, now that's a match made in heaven now, buddy. But That's it's
Yeah.
the way I see them bonding and working together and stuff, and the assurance they have in each other's abilities is just fantastic. 8 games in,
Hmm.
and we've got this. I, other than just a really positive vibe, but the camaraderie amongst the players, the faith. There it is. That's the word. The faith in each other's abilities now is there. The faith that the guy's going to go out there and actually put in an effort and do his job. The faith that players are going to come back and track back. We're seeing players come back. We're seeing players all the way. We're seeing Richie. I know he's getting a lot of shit because he's not scoring, but he's doing a lot of the other things right. He's coming back. He's
Yeah.
breaking up play. He's been in the box on corners and stuff like that. He's doing his defensive work when needed. I hate the fact that he's not scoring because I really, really do like Richie. I really,
Hmm.
really want to see him get off the ground and shut everybody up. I wish that would happen for him because there's just something about the guy. I fell in love with him the second he scored those 2 goals against Sporting. And the first thing he did after he celebrated with his teammates was run over to his parents. And you see them just
Hmm.
bawling their eyes out. And being a parent, as you are, you see that. And to have that kind of pride in your child, what a moment.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
appreciated the fact that he helped. It showed that emotion to him. It showed that
Hmm.
that that, and we see that he cares. And then with this whole mental health issues that he's going through, I wish him well and everything. And that's why I want to see him score because I think that will really assist him, not just
Hmm.
in terms of his football ability and everything like that,
The
and he'll get
ego,
some
the
respect,
ego,
but
just in general.
it'll help his life.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see
Yeah.
that for that kid. I really, really would.
Real quick, I just want to say big up to Kevin Coe. He says new to
Thanks,
Denver
Kevin.
here. Looking forward to watching some games with y'all at Esther's. Come on, you
Nice.
Spurs. Check that out. That's awesome.
Good stuff,
Big up to
Kevin.
you,
You're
Kevin.
gonna enjoy it. Make sure you go see this guy and say hi. Wave to the
He's
camera.
gonna fucking see me if he goes there, homie. They hear me. Trust
They
me.
hear you. I was gonna say they don't need to see you.
Yeah, I gets down, homie. I gets down. You already know. But yeah, look, man. Uh, if I could just add any more to what you said, bro, I definitely would just say that. Look, our whole team, like you said, our back line has definitely seems like it's a brand new entity, bro. Brand new players, right? Romero now is not having to worry about picking up slack on his left and on his right, for that matter, right? Now he's focused on his position, and we've seen him even come more up the field, right? Because we have Van de Ven who's quick enough
To
to
make
play that
stuff
high
happen.
line. It's just something that Bobby, I've been a fan since 2010, and this is something I haven't seen probably since I would say Harry Redknapp for me at least, right? Harry Redknapp played really attractive football for me, and Pochettino did too, but it was a different style of attractiveness, right? I don't think, and this is like I said, this is a small sample size what we've have gotten from Ange Postecoglou, but it's definitely like it's got those type of feels, bro. It's got those type of feels. The football that we're playing is more attractive, I think, than when Pochettino was around. Pochettino may have had probably better players in their prime, right? If we're gonna be honest, but to think that Postecoglou has done this with not a whole brand new team, but with a mixture of bad, good, and ugly, if you know what I mean. He's
Yep.
been able to make a really good soup with a couple of rocks and some water. And so
He's
that's
got
all that
Basuma playing like he's world class. He's got Poro defending. Just
he's
those
got
two
Basuma
players
playing world
alone, the
class.
transition out of what they were under Conte to what we're seeing now, just
Yeah.
those two players alone, credit where credit be given, and or where it's
And
due. And
Madison coming in, being one of the guys he wanted. You know, when
perfect.
Madison comes out and says, I had a conversation with Big Ange and I knew from the rip that I wanted to play for this guy.
Yeah.
You know, you hear the
That's what Van de
cliche, I
Ven
want
said
to
too,
run.
right?
And Van de Ven came out and said the same thing. You're
Van
right.
de Ven came
Recently,
out and
Van
said
de
the
Ven
same
came out
thing.
and said the
Yep.
same thing, and that's what you want, right? And I know it's cliche, Bobby, to hear I'll run through
Brick
walls
wall.
for this.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's a cliche in itself, but when you hear it and it carries a certain weight, it sends a different type of chills down your body. At
Oh
least for
hell
me,
yeah.
because when I hear my players say that, I'm like, yeah, this is exactly, Bobby. I used to be the first one that was ready to throw fists or to do whatever I needed to do, and I wanted my homies behind me because I wanted to make sure they knew that they had a solid motherfucker going to bat for them, and that's the type of people I look for around me,
Well, and that's what I
right?
was
And
going to
that's the
say.
type of players we need.
It's not even just on the football pitch, in life as well. You know, if you know somebody's backing you and supporting you, you tend to just do better.
You're
So
comfortable.
that
You're
faith, you
comfortable.
know,
You're free. Yeah.
and the fact that he's, you know, we don't know what the future holds, but as it stands, he's saying, TJ, big up, buddy. Good to see you, man. Oh, look who's talking. You're the legend, man.
Yeah.
Class
Big up for
gooner,
dropping
man.
by.
Class gooner. He really is. I really like
Yeah.
TJ. Good man.
Big
Um,
up, TJ.
we did a show with my cousin when we do that What's Buzzing Cousin thing. And
Yep.
even my
Yep.
cousin was, yeah, really, really enjoyed having him on, man. It was a good show. But so I lost my train of thought there. What the hell were we just saying there? With Ange, yeah, the I think what almost as crazy as it's going to sound, what made it almost easy for him to be the good guy is the fact that the players just went from being under two very dark, big black clouds, and the managers that basically said they don't have any ability, they're shit, they're garbage, they're
Mhm.
crap. Don't blame me, blame the players. Yet
Yeah.
he's got 60% of those, 70% of those same players there,
Hmm.
and he's got them playing football. Basuma was completely frozen out under Conte. He has no
Yeah.
ability. And
I
now he
was
looks like
starting
a
to
hundred
think that
million pound
Basuma was.
player.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was starting to think that Basuma was not a waste, but was going to be a failure just because of what I was led to believe, right? It's not what I seen; it was just what I was led to believe coming from, the whole situation. Why wasn't Basuma playing? And some of our fellow friends have made some really good points, and they said how he struggled with COVID, and maybe it took a long time for him to get recovered. Or you could throw in X amount of factors in there, Bobby, but it still boils down to what you just said, bro. He's got these players, the players that he inherited from Mourinho or that he inherited from Pochettino, Mourinho, Nuno, Conte,
Conte, Delaney, Mason,
Stellini.
Jimmy,
Yeah,
Frank, Tom, Robbie, Billy.
the tea
Oh,
lady.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, bro. To me, and look, bro, I think a lot has to do with Big Ange's personality, right? His characteristic. That he's a big. They call him Big Ange for no reason, right? He's a big presence, and you can just tell, bro. He's like a. It's so funny because the biggest guys like that, they seem like they're just the cuddly teddy bears, right? Like you want
Yeah.
to, they wouldn't harm a fly. Uh,
Those are the
at
guys
least
that
I
have
get
a
that
big
vibe.
bite too.
Oh, right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I don't doubt
So,
that he kind of lets that be known. And the players know that. That's why they respect him, right? Um, One thing I really like about watching him on the sideline is I love the fact that Conte was animated, but I thought he was over animated. You know, it's one thing I hate in Klopp and in Arteta, and you know, I love the
okay.
chill that like somebody like Pep brings. You know, where they
Hmm.
have the kind of he's just they just scored. I'll just have a sip of my water. Oh, we got this. It's all good. And Ange does that. You know, um, Arsenal went up on us, and there he is, hands in his pocket, not yelling, not screaming. It's okay. You know, "Oh, we got this, man. Chilling. Oh, we got lots of football left, lots of time." Just that
Hmm.
demeanor. You know, if you look over at the sidelines and you see your manager losing his
Yeah.
shit. What are you doing? Oh, over here, you this. It's basically these are professionals. They don't need
Hmm.
direction every moment. And I saw like Conte did a lot of that. And I used to tell Jay, I'm like, I like how he gets animated a bit when he gets pumped up and stuff like that, and we score and stuff. But then he's also the other end of the spectrum. When we're not doing well, you could just see that sulky, bad body language, that negative black cloud. It's like he could be standing there like this with that cloud, just that one cloud.
Hmm.
Everywhere else is sunshine, but you got that one cloud over him just raining. You know, he just
More
reminded me of
cloud.
that kind of person, and I just did not like
Hmm.
it. And by the time it was coming to the end, I was so happy to get rid of him. You know, so happy. Of
Yeah.
course, I was
Yeah.
one of the ones that jumped on the bandwagon as soon as we was brought in. You know, winning manager and everything, and but it was just
You and
painful
I both,
at
bro.
the end.
Yeah, you and I both.
Painful, and this is
Hmm.
so refreshing. Long may it last, but we have a bad habit of starting well under new managers, especially at the beginning of the season, and then unfortunately showing our true colors. Let's hope that these are our true colors and the mask isn't pulled off. We don't get Scooby Doo.
Hmm.
Well, that's
I
that's
would
a
say we're probably, I would say we're very close to being a quarter of the way through the season, right? I think maybe 9 games, 9 games, you're at a quarter of the season if you're doing So yeah, if we could just do it's not impossible for us to continue this, let's say 3/4 of the way, or let's say one of those quarters we kind of fumbled up a little bit. And you never know, towards the end of the season, we might be looking at something magical. But it's not and look, Bobby, I know exactly how you feel, bro, and everybody else in the community. Some people are the realist and some are the optimistics, right?
Yeah,
And
the deluded happy clapper.
the,
Hello,
yeah, yeah. So
like me,
and that's
James,
me.
Kuga, of course.
Yeah, like for me, we're gonna win the league, right? Because
The
that's
double,
what you
double
aim to
taunt.
do. I don't want to put anything else up in the air. My good vibes are we're gonna win the league, yeah, and we're gonna have the double this year, right? Because it's still on.
Well, technically, the trouble. We got the Tiger Cup.
That is true. I forgot about that
Until we're
one.
mathematically eliminated from the FA Cup or the
Then
league,
why
then I'm
not
going to
hop on
believe
the
we
let's
can
win
win
the
it.
league train? Of
Hmm?
course.
Yeah, I'm
Why
going to believe
not
we can
hop on that
win.
train?
It's to me. I appreciate the fact that people are going to go back and revert to, well, it's still the same ownership. We've still suffered for so long under these guys. This is just another smokescreen, this, that, only because it is a repetitive pattern right now. We're
Mhm.
seeing things we've seen in the last few years. Again, a good start, good push, excitement in the air, and then it's sucked out of us. But
The best start, Bobby, the best start.
fair enough,
Not a
fair
good
enough.
start, the best start.
Fair enough, but I'm just saying, like we started well even under Nuno, winning the first three games. But
Yeah.
I just think that there is a different element now, and I firmly believe one of the biggest reasons for that positive shift is selling Kane,
Mhm,
because now we have pulled ourselves into a situation we are clearly in a rebuild. Hence,
mhm,
when you look at that team and the average age of it, it is beautiful.
mhm.
You know, it is fantastic to see. Even Richie, 25, Sonny now is 30, Brendan Johnson, what, 21,
Yeah,
Kulu's only 23, Bentoncourt's only
youngins.
25, 26,
Yeah.
Madison's 25, 26, I think. Um,
Just 20,
Basuma's
yeah, 26, 27. Yeah.
26, 27. Okay, so Basuma, same thing. These
Yeah.
guys are all going to come into their prime in a few years. God willing, we'll keep them all. We'll still have them. Um, when all the names I've dropped, I see the big guys coming in. Then you look at that back line though. Udogi 19, Van de
Yeah.
Ven 21, Romero 22, 23. He's 22,
Right.
21. I think he might be 21 as well, right? And then Poro
I gotta
22,
think.
23. These guys are not even near their prime yet.
Yeah.
And they're
You
playing
know,
so well now. So if we could just keep this together and do a kind of Wenger-esque or a Fergie kind of thing where we actually keep our manager for more than a week and letting them build something, then it seems that we're finally doing things the proper way. Now, I know you were going to
yeah.
bring this up later and it was a talking point, but I'm going to spearhead it and bring us into it. When you're appointing somebody like this big Lange guy now, and we're getting football directors in. We're retaining Paratici in an advisory role still, right? Um, and a lot of this, what's happening right now, is down to Paratici. He found a lot of the
We
players
could
that are
assume,
making
and we,
a difference.
yeah, yeah.
So
But
it looks like Levy has finally let go and realized that he cannot do it on his own. He needs the proper support, not support, the proper support. And it seems like we've gone and got the proper support in. The right elements are in place to run it, the footballing, run the football, not just the operations, but the football team. Let's worry about the on field product as well. And it seems like it's happening. In reality, the telltale will be 3 months from now. If they don't open their wallets come January, knowing how paper thin we are at the back on that bench, then that will show you that we have not changed. The ownership has not changed. And that's what scares me about this great start, that leave you a look at it and go, oh, we don't need to do anything. We're doing great. We're top of the league.
yeah.
That's the one thing I'm scared of with this.
Instead of him saying we're top of the league, let me
Let me make sure we
bolster up
stay.
this squad. Yeah, and let's Yeah. No, and you're absolutely right, bro. All we could do is, like you said, the tall tale sign is in 3 months. All we really could do is just wait and see, and honestly hope to whoever it is you pray, anybody, that we don't get any type of injuries because yeah, we're like detrimentally close to having to play Eric Dyer, right? And we're detrimentally close to having to rely on maybe possibly Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, which of course is not the worst
Højbjerg's
option
not,
there.
yeah,
There's not
that's
not
not
the
a
worst
big drop
option,
off. Yeah,
right?
I
But
think there's
that's
worse
but still,
options.
it's there's definitely room for improvement all across the board, Bobby. Not just the back line, right? We could definitely even have a better backup goalkeeper if we're really going to be, if we're really going to be
Yeah,
pushing it that far. We could easily have a backup goalkeeper, and yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame how Giovanni Lo Celso has been injured. Um, and I think it's a shame that Brennan Johnson got injured right away too, because this is I'm really anxious to see what he can do. The bite size that sample that we got from his time uh, against the filth, and I don't remember if he played another game. I think he might
played
play.
against Liverpool. He came on and he scored that goal. Then he was offside right at the end of the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm definitely
For a
excited to
couple of minutes.
see
That's when I was like,
that.
wow, okay, this kid's got something to offer.
Hmm.
Man, he can
I'm
he's
excited to see Veliz.
man, he's
I'm
fast.
excited to see Veliz. I'm excited to
Yeah,
see the new
yeah.
kid
Even
Veliz
the
too.
2 or 3 minutes that he came on and held
Hmm.
up the ball and everything, he looked decent. So,
He
he
held
made
up the
an
ball
effort.
really good.
Yeah,
He's a big player
and he looked
too.
like a
He's a
big,
big
strong
player.
kid for his age. What, 18?
Mhm.
You know,
19, 18. Yeah,
19.
there you
Yeah,
go.
and then
Another
we got
another
that
youngkin.
super kid coming in next year. Then that
That's right.
the
That's right.
Croatian or something.
Croatian?
Yeah,
Yes,
he's
the
Eastern
Croatian
European.
kid.
I know Croatian,
Hmm.
Serbian, Czech. So, what's
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Croatian center back. You know who he is? Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he's Croatian. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so things
Who?
things are looking promising on the footballing side, but a lot of these guys, my concern is, are these players for the future that we just happen to be getting lucky with their abilities now? Because if that's the way the club's buying, then we are going to have problems. Because then we're going to
Hmm.
build players and sell them. We're going to be a selling club. We're going to achieve a certain level and not go any further. But like I say, I don't even want to think about that stuff because I want to ride the wave that we're on right now and just enjoy that. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming, baby. The bees are buzzing. It's so refreshing. It's so nice to go, shit, man. Why are we on an international break? If we didn't have injuries right now, I'd be pissed off we're on an international break because I want to see my team play.
That's a good point. Yeah, let's heal
That's
up
the
right now.
only reason I'm not bothered by this right now at all. Give those
Yeah.
boys an extra week and a half of rest. Some of them are going to go play for their clubs. Hopefully, Sonny doesn't put too much time in on the pitch because they're friendlies he's playing in, right? So,
Hmm.
um, I just, yeah, I hope nobody gets injured while they're away, kind of thing. And just, shit, man, sit back and enjoy that pina colada, man. Have a
Oh,
stogie,
yeah,
have a
man.
beer,
Mm.
have that
Have a
Corona,
left-handed stogie,
let the
baby.
sun shine down on you, and
Yeah,
just look over. And when you look and do you remember that show Teletubbies?
yeah.
Yeah, that
I've
psychotic
seen
show.
that.
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
that message you sent in the group chat.
yeah. Quick,
Oh,
you should. Sorry, 1 second. I told you to do that before. Go now, right now. You're done talking. Bye. But go get it right now. Hurry up. Move. This guy supposed to be in bed 10 minutes ago. And go, oh yeah, I was supposed to have a shower.
yeah,
Um.
yeah.
Yeah. So like I was saying with Teletubbies, that thing they used to have the face in the sun, that little baby's
Hmm.
face. That face right now to me is Big Edge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at
Okay,
that picture
okay.
now.
Just
Ooh,
soak it up.
I
Just
feel
sit outside in the
refreshed,
sun
baby.
like an
It's
old
warm.
man, soaking up all that sun.
Beautiful. Look, I was right before I started the show. Look at that tan.
Look at you. Yeah. So, Bobby, who would you say surprises you the most, bro? I put that in the poll, and I mean, and we have anywhere from Vicario. I didn't have enough options to put the whole squad because let's just
Yeah.
be real, bro. Anybody you could. There's an argument for anybody across that 11.
The biggest surprise to me is the one you just said. You said it before I could with Vicario because
Yeah.
a lot of people were upset that we didn't spend double and get Raya. A lot of people were upset that we were getting this somewhat unknown player from Serie A. You know, the people that do watch Serie A, such as Iggy and stuff like that, they were hyping him up big time. Buffon
Okay.
himself said that this guy is the future of the Italian team. He's going to be behind the sticks, between the sticks, and when he came in, his preseason wasn't that good. There was some shaky performances. There was some questionable decisions that he made, and it seems like when that first whistle blew this season, he just remembered all the mistakes he made and didn't make them again. He's just
Hmm.
been absolutely brilliant, man. His ball distribution, his calmness back there, his positioning, he's not getting caught out. Um,
His presence. I would say his presence, Bobby. I don't know if you've noticed sometimes
it's a
when
confidence.
When Udogi's made some mistakes, or even other players, he doesn't bitch at them. He doesn't
Nope.
like go at them. He tells them, "Hey, you're
Reassures
good.
them.
You're good. Yeah,
Exactly.
you're
Yep.
good. Like I got you."
Randigan scored that the
Own
own
goal.
goal. And what did he do? Run out of the net and hug him, rub him on the head, and say,
Yeah,
"It's all right. Get your head back in the
it's all
game."
right.
And that's
Yeah,
that's and that's kind of like you said. That's the reassurances we need. You don't need your manager bitching at you and screaming at you to do your job, and then on top of that, your coworker giving you shit on top of it when you make a mistake. Sorry, I got to
yeah.
just get. He's got his cast right, so I got to wrap it up so we can go.
You're all right.
A second here.
Yeah, no, and
I'm
that's
listening.
true
You're on
because
top. Go ahead.
I remember Hugo Yuri and Sonny having a huge argument, right? And
Yeah,
that's just something you don't want to see, right? From your captain and one of your best
yeah.
players. It's better to just be on the same understanding and have each other's back more than anything. But yeah, Vicario for me, like I said, arguably signing of the season for us and Premier League, right? If he gets enough clean sheets throughout the whole season and he puts in some good shifts, he can easily be candidate for that. So
Golden Gloves, baby.
yeah, yeah. Let's see, and then Udogi, honestly, arguably one of the best in the league right now. So far, from now to the beginning of the season, bro, arguably one of the best players we have.
You're talking about two guys that cost 19 million a pop, and they're worth
Yeah.
quadruple that, at least triple.
You know what, Bobby? I'm gonna bring somebody on who's worth even more or quadruple than that, bro. I have a surprise guest that I've been wanting to stream with this guy for a long time, and I just haven't been able to make it. I procrastinate, and I
You
always send the link
procrastinate.
like
Why you
way
procrastinate?
too late. Huh?
Why are you being lazy? Don't procrastinate.
It's just sometimes like a bad habit. Just bring him on like that, my homie.
Gents, how we going?
Well,
Kyle, how you doing,
how
man?
you doing?
Doing all right. I just got back from picturesque La Crosse, Wisconsin, which is why I never saw your message from earlier today.
They're good, brother.
Well, that's unacceptable. You should have been home a half hour ago.
Oh, you're damn right. I got caught in traffic running through Madison. I was furious.
Damn traffic. How are you, Kyle?
Kyle, so
Doing all right.
so big up to you, brother. Thank you for joining. Long time no see. We were kind of just chatting about just signing so far, or who you think would be one of the who's your surprise, standout player so far. And we kind of already went over Udogi being, arguably one of the best signings for us, and Vicario, before that. What's your first thought about a standout player, bro? Like who pops up first?
Well, I mean, Udogi and Vicario are really up there for me. I mean, a lot of people slagged off Vicario. Beginning of the season, nobody knew who he was, but he's a great keeper. I knew Udogi was going to be good because I knew we signed him, and I was like, I'm going to see what we got here. And I watched a ton of Serie A football last year, and by a ton, I mean like 4 or 5 games. But that's more than I probably have ever watched. But I would go. I would say Pape Sarr. He has been phenomenal so far.
Yeah,
Like we knew he had some talent. He made. I think he started the game. Yeah, our midfield at a combined age of like 41 years old against Milan in the Champions League, and I was impressed with him then. I'm impressed with him now. Um, I think it was we signed him for what, like 5 million? It was something absurd. Like
right.
No,
him,
probably about the star. I think it's like 12 or something like that. It's not a lot though. Not nowhere near what his value is. Yeah, not now.
He's been so good. I mean, honestly, all of our recent signings have been pretty decent. Like the last 18 months, they've been pretty good. Outside of maybe you could give a shout for Brian Heel isn't up to snuff, or that was a while ago. He's been around for a while. Or like just some of the guys we loaned out this year. But I am starting to realize why Fabio Paratici is like being criminally charged, because he's been stealing money from them Italian clubs.
I just quickly looked it up. Yeah, 14.5 million pounds we played for Sar.
That's incredible. The fact that
19 for Udogi, 19 for Vicario, 30 for Van de Ven, 40 for Romero,
And in
40
today's
for Poro.
market, that's really good.
If we wanted to
Today's
sell any of
market,
them,
that's a
they would
third of
immediately
what they're
double in
valuable.
value.
Yeah.
Sar, we could arguably say with what player valuations are now, we could ask for 50 million easy. I believe with Van de Ven, we could ask for even more because center backs are really, really scarce, especially a left-sided one.
Yeah.
Udogi, arguably the best left back in the league right now. So who was the best left back before that? Robertson, who's worth, I think, 65 on the books right now, or something like that, 60, 65 valuation. So what's that make Udogi, who's 8 years younger?
You want to know a quick fact about Pepe Sarr, you guys? Is after next year he will be considered homegrown.
Yep.
So that's fucking dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be able to have a player come in and then be homegrown, who I guess let's just say in a couple of years, Valise is going to be homegrown as well too.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Udogi might,
and I believe Udogi as well.
I don't know how that.
Yeah, Udogi, because technically we signed him before 19, right? I think it's 19.
Yeah, you got to be on the
18.
Yeah, and you got to be on the books, 2 years, something like that, in order to be. Yeah, so that's
and before a certain age.
Yeah,
2 years on the books before a certain age, something like that. So you know me with that stuff, Leo. I watch him kick the ball.
Well, I want to shift. I want to shift more up the pitch, and I want to talk now about maybe James Madison, the impact he's had, and not only James Madison, Kyle, but also Sonny. Bro, you can clip tons of clips from my fucking streams where I was just talking shit about Sonny because of the way I was watching him play. To me, there was something off, right? Bobby, I kept bitching about him all year long last season, right? And this year,
you're not the only
he
one.
has. No, and I know, bro. And this year he's fucking shut me up, dude, and rightly so. And I'm loving that, homie. So Heung-min Son to me has been a revelation, and James Madison, of course, coming in. Kyle, what are your from the sample size you've seen of what's going on? How do you feel about James Madison?
James Madison, I know I touched on Sarr as my surprising player, most improved, but James Madison might be the best number 10 in the Premier League. He's incredible. Not to take anything away from the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, but the stuff that James Madison does, whenever he gets in the 18-yard box, he never takes the easy option, which can be a little frustrating early on in the game. But then he'll do stuff like he turn Saki, send him for a hot dog up in the stands. I mean, he cut back and almost did a little heel flick against Luton for our winner. He is just so good at creating something out of nothing, and he's so unpredictable to defenders. I mean, he loses the ball a little bit down in those areas, but you're expected to lose the ball down in those areas. And I just simply love the way he plays. And Son, you were talking shit last year on stream. I have it in writing. I went a step further. You look at half of the match day promos on Instagram for Milwaukee Spurs. It's just I really hope we don't have to see another 90-minute jog out there from Sonny. But Sonny's been incredible. I think the captaincy really helped him mentally, especially with Harry gone. We needed somebody to score and also lead from the front because Hugo, I mean, we're not in the locker room. We don't know what's going on, but Hugo was a captain for a reason. I mean, he got arrested for drunk driving and he still retained the captaincy. So he was captain for a reason. And it feels like we've sort of picked up and not lost a step and gone a step further. It's so nice to see, especially I saw reports that Napoli are looking into hiring Conte, and I feel really bad for the entire city of Naples because that is
I think he shut that down. He shut that down.
Antonio
Um,
Conte should be in jail. That's the
Bobby, I'll toss it to you, my homie. Just quick thoughts about James Madison. How much of a revelation has it been to have somebody who's able to penetrate, them defenses like that, and like Kyle said, have that touch in the box, have the composure, have the eyesight, the vision to be able to pick out that play. And not only that, bro, he doesn't care. Like he doesn't give a shit. Like his Twitter feed, he's always like just he's on it, bro. And they
Oh, yeah,
try to
he's
troll
doing it,
him and
man.
he's trolling the players.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that's dope, homie. That's you want to see that shit too,
I
right?
love that shit. I do. It's the exact same thing that makes you hate a player when he's on the other team, but love him when he's on yours. That's
Yeah.
it's the same thing with Richie as well. He does shit like that that
Hmm.
just annoys you when he's playing against you, but you love it when you see him do it for you. Um, the thing about Madison is, in reality, we lost arguably one of our best players ever. He's our leading goal scorer. Harry Kane left. We lost not only our number 9, we lost our number 10 because effectively he was playing both roles. We replaced them with Sonny and Madison. We were worried about what's going to happen when Kane's gone. Simple. We replaced him. And we replaced him with 2 players, which we knew it was going to take. There wasn't one player in the world that's available that was going to replace Kane. And look how effective it's been. Madison has been occupying that number 10 spot, like Kyle said, beautifully. The runs he makes, the passes he makes, the vision, the fact he turns and plays the ball to the opposite side of the field sometimes when you think that there's a clear path this way. He does things that make you excited and make you stand up and kind of go, all right, what's about to happen kind of thing. And you guys, you're at the pub watching the game. That's kind of thing that makes you grab the guy beside you. All right, what's about to happen kind of thing. We've missed that, and it's so refreshing to see. I think it's fantastic that Sonny was moved to the middle. We all saw how ineffective he was slowly becoming on the left wing. Is that something that just happened where there's a bit of a drop off in the form him and Kane had together? Was it the way that they were forced to play through the Conte system or lack thereof a system? It just seemed that he wasn't able to hold up what he needs to when he's playing in that winger position. We all screamed at the beginning of this season as well. We saw him come on; he was ineffective. We didn't see the Sonny we wanted to see. We all screamed for him to be put into the middle, and all of a sudden it's like Ange said, "Oh, okay, that's what the fans want." I saw that too because he's seeing kind of what we're seeing. He's reacting to it and made the change 2 games in, and look what has happened. He's smiling again. That sunny smile is one of the greatest things to see.
Yeah.
Him playing for fun makes you appreciate him as a player and makes you appreciate the game and shows you what's really happening with our club in terms of positivity. And Madison being that provider and being able to fill that gap and create that link from between that holding role with Basuma and all the way up to the front, and in fact go and take it in the box himself as well, has been something we've been missing since Eriksson. So he's just something else, man. He's just something else. He's just been wow. I didn't want him. I'll say that. I'll admit that. The first thing I heard about when we were linked to Madison is that he was an Arsenal fan and he had put out negative tweets regarding Tottenham.
Remember
Then my cousin, who was an Arsenal fan, Robbie, sent me those tweets and showed me about how they were written when he was like 15 or 16 years old. Okay. Well, I said a lot of stupid shit when I was 15 or 16 too. The fact that he's come in and we benefited from the fact that Arsenal just didn't want him. They went for Havertz instead. Thank you, Arsenal. Because from my understanding, his wife wanted to stay in London. And we were the only option. Chelsea didn't come knocking. West Ham, I don't think he wanted to go to. So it worked out. Everything just seemed to, the puzzle pieces just fell into place and we got lucky. And the way he plays with that cheeky shit grin on his face, the nonsense he does, with what was it against Brentford when they were giving him stick or something? He went to take the corner and he just pushes the ball a little bit and everything turns. They're all like, whoa, and they turn and he turns and just gives them a smile and a wink kind of thing. And I love it, man. I love that shit, man. I love that cheeky crap. I get off on it, man. I really do. And he does it within limitations. He's not rude. He's just cheeky, and he plays
That's
that
almost
perfect.
what makes it even better, right? Is it's
Yeah,
like you do it in their face, right? And it's like yeah, just that, like you said, that cheekiness about it
yeah.
is
It's not
is what makes it
arrogant.
just
It's
dope.
cheeky.
Yeah.
There's a
It's not
difference,
arrogant, it's cheeky. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a
Yeah.
real
That's
lad's
what I love
lad.
about. I'm really loving. I'm falling in love with the guy. I'm not gonna lie.
He reminds me a lot of
I
my
held up my
cousins
hand. I was
over
wrong.
in England.
Sorry, Kyle.
Oh no, he's a real lad's lad. He reminds me a lot
Yeah.
of my cousins over in England. Just like the most lovable twat you could find on the
Yeah.
planet.
What they say about guys like that? He's a proper geezer, isn't it?
He's,
Proper geezer.
he's fucking real one.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
he's just been a revelation.
I think, and the way we big up our players, we're not the only ones that do it. They hear this shit when they're walking down the street, right? They hear the big ups when they're at the field, wherever it is they encounter somebody who's a Spurs fan, they just give them love. And you have to think that, like, out of all the clubs that you go to, let's just say like Real Madrid, right? They're so used to pumping out, bringing in players and pumping them out, right? And the fans will turn on you quicker than anybody else will, right? And that's
Hell
kind of like the flaw of going to one of these bigger clubs is like you get chewed up and spit out if you don't perform. Eden Hazard, a perfect example. Look, went to Real Madrid, one of the biggest touted players, and probably just couldn't handle the pressure, bro. And it probably got to him, right? The Bernabeu, you're playing the Bernabeu, and all them players turn on you. That's got to do something for you. So when you see players like Tottenham, and he's one of these guys that's like, I wanted a football chant. I want my chant. I want to hear the chant. I love my chant, And Van der Ven has chant, scores his goal, and that Kellenworth Road. That if that's the Luton Town's pitch is so close, right? And you can hear everything the fans are telling you.
yeah.
It's just got to be lovely, bro. And I am gonna go out on a limb and say no other team's fan base is as lovely and loyal as we are. Big up to Sideline Football Show. Thank you for joining, homie. Thank you for coming in. Big up Mile High in the panel. Big up to you, sir. Liverpool fan, my homie is. So yeah, big up. I think the whole you guys, the club from bottom to top, the whole club, it just has a different vibe and it's reflected on everything. Bobby, you hit the nail on the head with the hammer, bro. This international break is a gift and a curse because the curse being no football, but the gift being our team might heal where we need it to heal.
They're getting the rest they
Kyle, what's
definitely
been?
deserve.
They are. You said you voted for Sun.
Nice.
Big up, big up. Kyle,
Yeah,
what's your biggest surprise of the whole?
it's just been so refreshing, and like you say, it's going through us as a fan base where we're all excited right now. The sun is shining, kind of thing, and it's got to be felt by the players as well, especially the ones that had to suffer through the last 14 managers in the last 3 years we've had. It's there just seems like to them it looks like there might be some stability finally, especially the fact that one of the best transfer we made this season so far was signing Ange to a 4-year contract, not a 2-year
Mhm.
one. That to me
Yeah.
was a sign of intent that we're gonna back this guy. Now, in reality, you can sign a guy to a 10-year contract and still can him 2 years later or a year later. But it kind of showed that the club was getting a little bit serious in terms of a rebuild. We sold Kane. We are willing to give away our captain or former captain for free. It's the
Nobody
changes
wants his
there,
ass.
man.
Nobody
The
wants
change.
our. Nobody wants Hugo. Take Hugo. Somebody take Hugo.
I
Hashtag
thought he's
take
a
Hugo.
freaking hypocrite for that shit he said about going to Nice, that he doesn't want to obstruct the development of a player at his home club and blah blah blah. Horse shit. But you're willing to stick around here and try to knock Vicario off his perch? Get out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck no. Kyle,
You're tarnishing your legacy now, man.
I want to bring Kyle in and I want to ask you what's been the biggest surprise so far? And we can even go ahead and open this up to the whole Premier League if you want. You know what I mean? What's been your biggest surprise? We'll spend some time now talking about just the whole Premier League so far. What's been your surprise so far?
Well, just Tottenham wise, seeing us do well is I mean mostly I'll get into Big Ange in a second, but the fact that we came into this season being like, yeah, we're gonna concede some goals because we basically have 2.5 defenders. At any given point, I've been talking for months about how I'm ready to see every member of our back four in the opponent's 18 at the same time. But it's been so nice, like we were actually defending well. It's crazy what will happen when you're not playing Ben Davies and Eric Dyer every week. I'm sure Jacob from the United Spurs of America is probably his resting heart rate has gone down significantly since we bought Van de Ven.
Yeah.
But I think whole Premier League wide, I don't know if there's been that many surprises. I mean, Villa, we knew they were going to be kind of good. Man City, the last couple of years, they've gotten off to a bit of a slow start. I mean, Brighton, I think they're overplaying, or they're getting results that they maybe necessarily shouldn't because they just cannot defend. I don't know. I'm looking at the table. The only thing I could think would be Newcastle, but they've played big teams and lost. They haven't really, like played a Luton or a Bournemouth or Burnley, and Sheffield, which we've all played. But
they played Sheffield. That was they smoked them 8-0.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
True.
But I don't know. I think the surprise of the season so far for me was the Scum signing Havertz, because they signed him for like 80 million or something, and
65, yeah.
Nobody at Chelsea wanted him because he's shit. They're like, get him out of my club. I know I'm mates with the Chelsea guy, and they didn't want him. And I was so surprised that a club that wanted to challenge for titles went in for a player like that and wanted to build the bones of a team around a player like that. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean,
Are you have you I know we don't really watch the Gooners play, but like Declan Rice was a big move that went there too, right? An expensive price tag, and I'm hearing he hasn't really been like the best player for them either. So I mean that's got to be up there too as a big surprise, right? You get one of the biggest English players, right? Not only that, one of the best players. Yeah, English.
I've
Yeah,
been debating this year for basically every year on St. Patrick's Day, Milwaukee does a giant bar crawl, and everybody gets bright green T-shirts, and you're supposed to put names on the back of them, and there's a number, and it's a whole day. Other cities have the Shamrock Shuffle, and it's like a charity 5K. For us, it's an all-day bar crawl because, of course, it is. And every year, I wear an England top because I just think it's kind of funny, and I want to get. I can't get a Declan Rice one, but I do want to get a Jack Grealish England top and see if anybody's up to it. Just, but no,
yeah,
I got a Madison one. Show some loyalty,
yeah.
Kyle.
well, I am an England lad. I'm a dual citizen. I rarely, if ever, watch the USMNT. Regardless, like as weird as it sounds out of this accent, but I think for the Scum, right, their best signing by far has been David Raya. I mean, he won them a point against us. Like some of the saves he's been
That's
making this
true.
year, and it makes me so happy because I think a club like Real Madrid's going to come in for a Spanish goalkeeper like that, and they spent 50 million or something. They spent an absurd amount of money on Ramsdale, and he's England number 3. His confidence has just been ripped to shreds. So they're going to have to go out and buy another goalkeeper in 1 or 2 years' time for another huge sum of money.
Yeah. Bobby, did you expect Spurs to be at the top or to be top four?
Now, we kind of already touched on this. Right now, according to pretty much every pundit, um, especially Sky bastards at Sky Sports there, and a lot of our rival teams, when we brought in Ange Postecoglou, nobody knew who the hell he was. A lot of people wrote him off. Oh yeah, he's a champion in Japan. Woohoo! He's a champion in Australia. Woo! He won with the Socceroos. Big deal. He's done well in Scotland. Woo! He's crap. He's gonna be shit when he comes to us. We were written off. Then we turned around I would sell the greatest striker in the world with a couple of days left in the window and zero hope of getting well, there is no replacement for him anyways. Automatically went from being at best maybe contending for the top 8 to contending for a top 14, getting rid of Kane. A lot of people said we'd be in a relegation battle. And, I know a lot of them were just talking crap because they like to talk us down, and we would do the same to their team naturally. But where we are right now solely lies on the fact that we got a guy in here that knows what he's doing, and the players believe it. They're playing for him. That's something we haven't seen in a long time. It's just
Winter's coming.
Yeah, winter is
That's
coming, but don't worry, there'll be some sunshine in January there, sideline. Don't you worry. Daniel Levy's going to shock everybody and spend $100 million in January.
Gonna take the cobwebs out of the old wallet.
It's
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, get him out.
it's so wild that that we've been as good as we've been. Like, we're getting results against clubs that we sorry. We're getting results against clubs that we didn't get results against last year.
Yep.
I think the players have bought in. And to say we would be where we are now, even against the opposition played with a front line of, imagine 8 months ago seeing Richie, Richarlison, and relegated James Madison and Sonny up there, I'd been like, yeah, I think we'd be good to get 10th. I said at the beginning of the year, I think on this podcast, that if we sold Kane, we'd finish 5th or 6th, and if we kept Kane, we'd finish 3rd or 4th. But I'm a lot more optimistic now. I mean, the fixtures we got coming up this month after the break, 4 days in between them, I think they're both on the road, I want to say. I think we're at Craven Cottage and then at Selhurst. Or no, we're at Fulham and then we host Crystal Palace. But those games are going to be tough, and I'm really excited to see Valiz because I think he's going to get a little bit more than his standard 5 or 10 minute cameo appearance. And I want to see what he can do because in Argentina, I saw some of the highlights. He's been incredible. And I want to see if he can develop into at least a decent striker. Like we were looking at Gift Orban at the beginning of the year. He's proven in the European League, but we
He's crap right now, though.
We went with Valiz, and I think Ange trusts him. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the youth team get in, like Dorrington, Mikey Moore has scored a ton of goals. Like, at least be involved in the first team in some capacity. It's an exciting time because, I've said this for a minute. I don't know why any young talent in the planet, especially in London, would ever go to Chelsea because they're never going to play. There's a million players on the team, and they all just get loaned out. So why not, instead of doing that, instead of chasing a bag, why not come to Tottenham and actually play or be involved within the first team, take a loan spell if you need it? I mean, we were talking the last time I was on the podcast about how we've struggled to loan players out to quality competitions and to teams of the level we want to develop into. And getting our youth guys up in the first team so they can put themselves in the shop window for loans and not losing our top academy goal scorer every year. And I think it'll help that Kane's gone, as weird as that sounds, weird as that is, because we've lost like Noni Madueke. We lost Rio Griffiths. It was our leading scorer in the academy at one point. Marcus Edwards left.
Yeah.
There was I forget his name. Lad with Central Asian.
Dylan Markande.
Yes. He went to like Blackburn Rovers. I haven't heard a peep.
Blackburn.
I mean, Jack Clark's doing very well for Sunderland, but we sold him a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think the recruitment before Paratici was sort of we were just like, oh, there's a guy, let's whack 10 million on him. And I don't think they really thought about how they would gel with the team and the manager. Like even Brian Hill, no manager we've had since he's gotten here has wanted him in the team.
Nah, he's hurt still though, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he's almost back to fit, I think. I think we'll be seeing him
Yeah,
soon.
he was
I
on
hope
the
so. I
bench.
think he
He was on the bench against Luton.
I
I
would love
think
to
we'll
see
be able to see some
Sessegnon
good
get
stuff
back
from him.
too. As Sessegnon has struggled a little bit in his appearances, but there have been games that he's played that have just been incredible. Running down the left wing.
Yeah, he's still hurt too.
And then Jaffet
A lot of
Tenga.
guys in the injury room.
Yeah, we've got a million injuries. Just luckily for us this season, it's not our first team players.
Yeah.
And I saw a report earlier today that Bentancur might come back within 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think we better. The benefit we have now with Bentancur returning from such a long injury is that we can ease him back in. We've got the midfield's got options, whereas in other areas we're paper thin. So I really hope he's just not thrown into the mix, and it wouldn't be fair to pretty much any of the three with Basuma, Saar, or Madison, who have all been doing their job very well thus far.
It's just an exciting time to support Spurs. Like, this is the level of excitement I haven't really felt since 17, 18. Ever since we built the new stadium, it's always been like, yeah, we got a great stadium, but the team's kind of shit.
Well, that's the thing, Kyle. That stadium was what was supposed to be the final piece of the puzzle to push us up into the top to compete with the big boys, because the money that was going to be generated from that was going to be put back into the team. And now it seems like it slowly has been, but it's a long way to go. We've just taken too long to do a rebuild.
I see the appointment of Postecoglou kind of like in terms of relationships. Like, we had Poch for a million years, or for 5 or 6 years, and it was committed. Stuff went bad, and then we moved on. And then we went with the Portuguese that nobody thought about, and then we got the hot Italian, and then a couple rebounds after that, somebody we knew from our hometown, and now we're just back in the market. We got a guy, reminds us of our parents. There's a reason I called Ange dad, but it feels like there's a feeling around at least my family who supports Tottenham. It's like it reminds us of me growing up, not realizing that we're shit because we aren't.
Yo, I just want to say what's up to Sideline Football. He said he wanted to come on. He didn't want to show his face because don't have makeup on, so that's fine. So big up to you. Thank you for joining. How you doing?
Big up, guys. Yeah, sorry, man. I don't want to scare you or scare like your viewers or your fans.
You're
So
good, bro. You're good, bro.
yeah, yeah.
You're good.
I'm sure you're gonna need all the subscriptions and the likes, and I encourage everybody who's tuning in now or tuning or watching the show after. I'm a Liverpool fan, and I'm saying to everybody, like and subscribe this channel. The boys here are, like they're true football fans. They're objectives, and one of the few Spurs channels that I like listening to. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Leo's good cap, man.
Yeah, yeah. No, you guys are good. Yeah, I was. I don't want to keep bombarding your live chat, man. Like people watch it after and they'd be
Oh,
like,
good, man.
"What
We're
the
all
hell
just
is
sitting
this
here
guy
talking like
doing?"
this. Come in, have a chat, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The winter. The reason why I keep saying the winter, it's for all the teams, right? Um, Arsenal gonna need a striker, right? Uh, us, we gonna freaking need a DM for God's sake. You guys gonna need a couple players, if not three. You guys gonna need a little bit better depth in the squad, like a quality depth. I'm talking about, like elite quality depth. You got a good squad, but it's your squad is like a 12 or 13 players, right? With the international breaks, with the winter, um, you're
Yep.
gonna
And
get
then
some
the Asian Cup in
injuries.
January as well. Yep.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
African Nations Cup. So we're going to lose a lot of players, right? Sonny
yeah.
Basuma, are right there, gone.
So, yeah, the Asian Cups, the Afcon as well. Yeah, you're right. So, any team that start getting hit with a big list of injuries, like Man United now, if you look at their list, is huge. You can make up a freaking team out of their injury list, right? So that's why I say the winter is gonna be deciding who's gonna be the title winner. By the end of the winter last season, that's when Arsenal start going down.
Yep.
Right? That's when they start dropping points. They were top of the league for, I don't know, 20 weeks or more than that, maybe 25 weeks.
Oh, 93% of the season or 91%, something like that.
It's
So
the
it's like,
longest
it's
time
like
a club's
32
been
weeks
at
out
the
of the
top of the
38 or
league.
something.
It's the longest time a club has ever been at the top of the league and not won the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to call you sideline, buddy. What's your name?
My name is Thammer. Like hammer?
Hammer?
Yes, Thammer.
Hammer? Thammer.
Thammer.
Okay, Thammer. Nice to meet
Thammer.
you. Yeah.
Pick up.
Yeah, Thammer. One thing I think that we have to our advantage, as sadly, as sad as this is, but it's optimistic, is that we've only got 2 competitions to worry about. You know, your club is still in 4. Arsenal are still in 4. You got all those guys got a lot of games to worry about. Where we've got at least 30% less. Especially, you know, I hope you guys, Arsenal, the likes of Chelsea, the likes of United, go really, really deep in the European competitions before you get knocked out. And
We have
I
to.
hope you go deep in the FA Cup before you get knocked out as well. So there's that wear and tear and fatigue on your players and big buildup of injuries as well. I think all those factors are going to really kind of play in our favor. As sick as that sounds, I'm obviously going to look at what helps my team, and I think right now that's one of the things that's allowing us to get away with having that paper thin squad. Like you said, our best 11 options are out of 14 players tops, and that is not a number to have to associate to a club that's supposedly going to compete for a title.
Well, again, if you guys do some good business in the winter, like bring in at least 2-3 elite quality players, not just bodies, you know, like some, for God's sake, like winter transfer window for Liverpool is just the worst.
It's for everybody, Bill Thammer. It's hard to get players in January. Nobody wants to give up their stars.
Not necessarily. Like now, everybody's saying that shopping at like in the South American market has become easier for clubs in the Premier League. They're giving the what do you call the visas way easier, and they made it easier. So and the perfect time to shop in the South American market. I'm not that giving you a hint, but it's in the winter, right? Like Andre is one of the players that we've been connected with for the past, I don't know, 4 months before we even bought McAllister and Soboslai. And we still didn't buy the guy yet because the Fluminense kept saying we don't want to lose the guy till the end of the winter. Their season is different. Their schedule of the season is different.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily, right? It depends on where you shop and what you shop for.
Yeah, that's a good point, Thammer.
Sorry, I just heard
I'm
a
a
big
little bit
bang
surprised.
upstairs, and apparently all the kids are supposedly sleeping. So either my cat just broke shit, or I gotta go smack one of the kids around a little bit for fun. I mean, nicely put the kids to bed, something like that.
Yeah, I got you, my homie. I was just about to ask Thammer, what would you say is the revelation at your club? Who is the signing that you would say is
What was it?
stood out above all of them?
Soboslai, man. Sobo, hands
Yeah.
down. I would say if Soboslai, 22 years old, and he's doing what he's doing now and impressing a lot of people, well, let's see what he's going to do next season. It's just going to get better for him, I think. With the good depth somewhat a good depth that we have in the midfield, if the boys kind of freaking calm down, for God's sake, and not give the officials any reason to get more yellow cards and red cards. If you go back in all of the season, one of the stats that for whatever reason, I was following was how many yellow cards and red cards Liverpool was getting before the season. Honest. We were like the 19th or the 18th or the 20th. The lowest club that gets yellow cards or red cards. Every season we get maybe one or two, the whole season. One or two red cards. Yellow cards, you look at them, half of them is Fabinho. Now, no. Now Salah might get a red card, a second red card in all of his career, right? So signing of the season, that's Soboslai. I think it's going to get better for him if we get a decent DM. That's going to free him up a little bit, and that's going to drive him up in the attacking, in more attacking positions, and not create from deep, creating chances from a little bit up ahead in the field.
But
If
Cameron,
you
don't
want,
you have
yeah,
McAllister and Gravenberch that can play that position?
McAllister, we're not utilizing him as a bit of an attacking midfielder yet. He's been playing DM. He's really hard on the eye to watch him playing that position. It's not his position,
Yeah.
and he doesn't look happy in it. And he looks frustrated, and that may cause him more yellow cards, potential even red cards.
Yeah.
Right? Gravenberch, Gravenberch is good, but a little bit rusty. And the reason why for that is Bayern Munich had him, I think, for a year and a half or 2 years, barely played him. So that's why he's a little bit rusty and he needs just a little bit more time, more minutes. But it's going to happen for him. Currently, in current form, judging current form of what we see so far, Soboslai hands down.
Oh, he's been fantastic. That goal he scored against Leicester in the cup was great.
Yeah, that was a screamer. That's just one glimpse of what he can do. As I say, like if we get a proper DM, he'll be a little bit more free and he can attack a little bit more. But the right side where he is at, don't forget that there is Mo Salah there, and behind him, most of the time, or sometimes it's Trent. Trent who's coming in as an inverted, and Mo Salah doesn't track back as much as the other attackers. So that's why he's playing a little bit more defensively than he should be, in my opinion. Right? So that right side is not very strong defensively. So that's why he needs to sit back a little bit. But if we have a proper DM that can have a good chemistry with Trent, whether he's inverting or not, then Soboslai can go a little bit up ahead, a few steps ahead. I voted for Son because I love Son. But
So does your
Madison,
manager.
sorry?
So does your manager.
Yes,
So does Klopp.
yes, exactly. Well, he has a good eye for footballers, right? Um,
Yeah.
Son is your best player, but your best signing or your changing of the season is Madison. Madison is the one
Yeah.
who's changing your season. Bissouma come second place, like to Madison.
You can see really the players in our team who've been playing with more confidence. Like, I don't think I've rarely seen Christian Romero yell and scream at anybody this year. He has put in some challenges. We actually had some Englishmen up at our pub, and Leo would know this, but since I'm a dual citizen, my American family never raises their voice. We're very meek, quiet people, and my English family only yells. It's like an American Italian household in which you have to yell to be heard. So I yell in a natural English accent. And every time anyone comes near Christian Romero, I say the same thing. Enough. Has to be enough. And so this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Why are you saying NF?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was thinking about it for a second. I was like, "Oh, NF." And he's like, "What does that mean?" And I go, "NF, as in snap him NF." I love that, like, no better feeling. I think it was Romero or Basuma just put in an absolute bone crunching tackle against Salah when we played you guys, and It's so exciting. It's so, like Romero's playing with so much confidence. And as much as I do respect Liverpool, I do think Twitter is a very much it's more fun when Liverpool lose because nothing is better. Nothing is better than going on Twitter.
Well, I tell you this. For me, nothing is better if Chelsea is losing.
Oh, them too.
Chelsea or Everton, nobody knows Everton, So if you put it on Twitter, it'd be like, who is Everton? But yeah, Chelsea at least is a little bit more known. Um, so I get it, right? Like you have your preferred club and you have your least preferred club, right? Um, Romero, to be honest, in my opinion, it may shock you. In my opinion, Romero was not your best player against Liverpool. Your best player was Bissouma, Madison. Like a lot of Liverpool fans, they were trying to blame Gomez for that goal, the first goal that you guys scored. Oh, he didn't cover his area and whatnot. I said, no. Madison key pass to Richarlison on that wing is just phenomenal. You can't blame Gomez for that. That pass is just genius. So Madison and Bissouma were your best players, as well as Son.
I quite like Joe Gomez. If I'm not mistaken, I think we were linked with him either this summer gone past or the summer before it. I think he's a pretty good defender. I think he's one of my favorites in the Liverpool squad.
Right now, my favorite Liverpool defender is Matip.
Matip is the best performer in defense for Liverpool. Gomez is a really good defender, but his problem is he came back from a long injury, and usually that injury will have an emotional aspect to it. It's not just physical. Players get scared, and they may hold back a little bit.
Yeah, that's
And
like Bentancur coming back for us right now. No, I was just trying to be a bit of a smartass there. The only reason I like Matip the most is because he scored that world class winner for us against.
I can't. Well, nobody can blame him. The legs are tired playing nine players like half hour or 25 minutes. I can't blame the guy, right? And consider it as a gift, an early Christmas, I guess.
I appreciate it, man. I would gladly take it. All my
I'm gonna
Liverpool
show
cousins, everybody in England bantering me. I was like, all day long, man. I was sending back thank you cards.
I'm gonna show
Well,
a
you're
quick
gonna
little
need that
video real
gift
fast,
because
you guys.
you're probably gonna have a good use for it after the winter. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, Thammer, I gotta ask you, how do you feel about how you Pool spent an entire week talking about like a replay and how it was unjust, and I get the reasoning behind it, but do you think it distracted you guys for your matches in midweek and at the weekend?
no, I think actually it was a genius tactic by Klopp, and I think he might have like a media advisor or consultant that's actually feeding him a strategy. So the reason why he said what he said, in my belief, is he's putting the pressure on the officials now. He's putting the pressure on the officials. So in any Liverpool game, any official going to be a little bit extra careful to do us wrong, or to even if they have any doubt.
Sorry, unfortunately, the flip side to that, my man, is that you're getting the benefit of non-calls too. There's that whole the fuss that was made over Van Dijk's handball with Brighton, right?
Which one? Sorry.
The recent game with Brighton and the handball, right?
It's a handball. Is it a penalty? Not a penalty. It's a debatable one, right?
Yeah, but nothing was given, no free kick or anything, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
but
it's a
I'm saying the
debatable one.
people that have an agenda against Liverpool are going to turn around now and say, "Oh, because Klopp whined so much, now they're not going to give them calls." You know what I mean? It's just
Exactly.
the whole thing just ruins the integrity of the game overall.
Yeah.
That's
You're
what
right.
bothers me. You know,
'Cause
you're sitting here, you've spent the reason. You know, I think Leo, you and I had this conversation regarding the VAR thing after the game. VAR is not going anywhere. They're not going to sit here. They're not going to replay that game, no matter what happens. If they replayed that game, forget the Liverpool Tottenham aspect of it. Forget the fact that they're saying the referees got it wrong. We apologize. Blah 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 has to be made up. You have now basically said and admitted your system is flawed. The system you've put in, that you've implemented, that you've got monitoring people for and everything, all this money you sent in. Luton couldn't play home games because they didn't have the setup for the VAR and the cameras and all that stuff. You forced them to go upgrade their stadium so they have the technology to be able to play Premier League level games, and you get it wrong. You're spending minutes making these calls and you get them wrong. It's unacceptable. You know, I feel for you guys. I thought it was absolute nonsense that you got that offside. I personally thought that game was going very well. Even right after the red card, I thought, okay, it's still going to be a good game. You know, Klopp knows how to set up his team with 10 men. And I was looking forward to a shootout, but that second red card, the non-goal, it took everything out of the game. It really did ruin the game. The only thing that was positive about it is that we were able to win in the end. And of course, as a Spurs fan, I know I'm not trying to be a smart ass or bant you, but I'm just saying
No. I hear you. But
satisfying thing. You know,
I
because
agree with you. The game lost a lot of its integrity. That is 100% right, and it's not just for Liverpool. Like Kovacic should have been sent off. It's even worse tackle than Jones' tackle, right?
Which one, sorry?
Kovacic
against Arsenal. Yeah,
against
the
Arsenal.
Arsenal game.
Because that one there was no intent, and it was a tackle from behind, and studs up higher than Jones, right? And everybody looking
Gave
at
him a
it
yellow.
was like,
Yeah,
he only got a yellow. What the
he
hell
only
is
got a yellow.
going on?
Mhm.
Right? What I'm saying is there is some calls that are debatable. I get it. Now,
A lot of them.
a replay for game. Yeah, a replay for the game. No, nobody wants it, and I believe that Klopp himself, he doesn't want the game to be replayed again, because that's
No, but
just
he
going to
wants the
open a
system
big
to
can.
be accurate. You know, that's what it's supposed to be, and it's not.
It should be better. It should be better. There is systems that exist nowadays in the world that proven that it's way better, that it's more accurate. Nobody going to get it 100%, right?
Rugby. You know,
Well, not just
you watch
rugby.
rugby VAR replays or whatever they call it over there as well.
Mhm.
They're 99.7% of the time they get the right call, and it's quick. I
Champions League.
don't understand how this system, after so many years of being implemented, is so seriously flawed. That's what I don't.
Champions League.
Goal line check, they got the chip in the ball, this, that, the other.
Yeah.
Cameras on every angle of the pitch. You know, you know which fan 3 rows up through a paper airplane on the field, but you can't decide if this guy picked the guy on purpose or not. Or it's maddening. It's so maddening, but it's just. Like I said, they're not going to change it because they've invested too much into it. They're not going to admit that they got it wrong. And that's what pisses me off. If it means scrapping it and redoing it, then do it. If that's for the betterment of the game. Right now, you're ruining the game. You're stopping games. We as fans don't know if we could celebrate a goal for about 4 or 5 minutes because we're not sure if there's going to be a VAR check.
No kidding.
It's the integrity of the game itself is being ruined. If you can't implement it properly, just get rid of the shit. You know, go back to we'll complain about the referees' calls getting wrong after the game is over. Go back to the way it used to be, and it'll just be something for us as fans to just have to suck up and say, okay, they got it wrong. But when you can review it and know you got it wrong right then and there and still get it wrong, you're an idiot.
They are a bunch of idiots. They're not. I'm I don't know this. The war that's happening in the media. Hopefully, that kind of pushed them to change. There is a system that exists in the Champions League that it's not 100% accurate, but it's way better than what it is in the Premier League. Apparently, I've read an article saying that the Premier League themselves they rejected having that system at the beginning of the season. Then
Because
when
it
they
costs more
said
money.
yes, then the club said no. Then the club said yes after that. So it was a back and forth between the Premier League and the clubs. There was, I think, 13 or 14 clubs said no to it,
Right.
right? Why didn't you get it? Well, we need a proof of concept. Well, you got the freaking proof of concept. The
Yeah.
system was implemented in the freaking World Cup,
More excuses,
right?
Denver. More excuses. With that, from my understanding, with the Champions League, it's a double review panel. So that's all it is. Wilton's pointing out that we still have the issue comes down to being human error in the decision making process. If that's the case, add more humans to the process. Like they say, 4 hours are better than 2. So get an independent booth on the other side of the stadium. Shit, this stuff is it's technology at its finest. We're seeing this across the world. I'm watching a game happen in England, sitting on my sofa here in Toronto, and if I can see what's happening here, you're telling me that information can't be sent to an independent booth that's set up somewhere, I don't care where in the world, that technology will send that information over immediately for somebody to review. You're taking the 90 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes to review things. Get it right. We as fans have accepted the fact that you're going to stop and delay the game. At least give us something back in getting the right call. I don't think it's too much to ask.
And it needs to be more transparent too. Like the match audio being released, it doesn't happen often. It's happened before, but I really hope that the whole situation leads to more transparency. And if they mess up, they do something about it instead of just like releasing.
Yeah, well,
you don't got to replay the game, but like make a change.
No, at the end of the day, Kyle, if we made a mistake like that was so costly because, again, it's brought up not only the fact that these guys got it wrong, but it questions the integrity of the entire system. So if it was such a vast mistake for any of us to make at our job, hell, we might even get fired.
Well, we will get fired.
In some form, disciplined, fined maybe or something. Yet these guys got away with it. They laughed it off. Oh, screwed that one up, didn't we, boys? Oops, let's get a pint. Fine them.
That's crazy how that works, right? Well, look, you guys, Thammer, I'll give you a chance to kind of plug anything here in a second. I want to big you up and tell you thanks for tuning in, bro. Nice words that you said about this being one of the few Spurs channels you watch. So big up, brother. I appreciate that. And also I want to say big up to Kyle who was kind enough to join us, you know what I mean, and also Bobby K who always has my back as well, my homie. Well, I'll start off with you, Thammer, since you're this is your first time here, and I hope you come back again, Thammer. Honestly, I really enjoyed speaking with you, but I'll put your I don't know if so this is the link that I got from your
Yeah.
page, right? So if anybody would go over to Thammer's page and subscribe to him, he has the he's a Liverpool fan, but that's okay because as you guys just seen here, he's a football fan, not just a Liverpool fan. He's a football fan. So Thammer, go ahead and say anything that you want, brother. Plug your channel, or I mean, what kind of content do you do? What do you have in the works?
Well, I do a lot of watch alongs, mainly for Liverpool. I do watch along sometimes for Arsenal is my second favorite team. Sorry.
Hey, you watch your language. Come in here like that with that foul.
My finger was hovering over the subscribe button on that channel.
Oh my god!
Subscribe to your channel. I'm unsubscribing right now.
All right, I have to be honest, man. I have to keep it real, right? Sometimes I do watch along for Man City or Man United. Man United just to collect tears, I might be starting a competition, and I invite you guys as well. It's a prediction game. It's free. It's not gambling. God forbid. You just predict the 10 game. Yeah. And no, well, it's not going to be a cup. I might even throw in like your favorite jersey, the jersey of your favorite team.
Hey.
So if you go to my latest video, you're probably going to see the prediction link, and I may put it like in the chat as well. I invite everybody to come play. You don't have to subscribe to my channel. Just predict your games, get points. Whether you got the correct outcome, you'll get some points. If you predicted the correct result, you get more points. End of the season, we'll see who's the winner, maybe 2 winners. I'm hoping that I don't buy an Everton shirt.
Yeah.
At least you'll get to buy an Everton shirt with the
Yeah.
EFL Championship branding on it.
Well, thank you so much. Big up to you guys. And
Nice to meet you, man.
I've subscribed to your channel about a week ago, and I have all the notification on. So anytime you go live, I will try my best to come on and tune in. Thank you so
Right
much,
on.
and have a good night, man.
Nice to meet you, Thamer.
Nice
Tamer,
to meet you.
big up to you, my homie. Big up to you, brother.
Big
Yeah.
up.
Cheers. Yeah, that's what's up, man. It's always dope to to just we live at least I do. I like live in a Spurs bubble, right? And like I focus mainly a lot onto that. So to be able to talk football with another, with a fan from another team, and I could stand a Liverpool fan, bro.
And
It's
he's
them
a
lot down the
yeah,
road
but he's
or
a
somebody
proper
else.
fan. He didn't
Yes,
come here
yeah,
talking shit. He was actually had
yeah.
a decent conversation. I appreciate people like that.
I can
Yeah.
I
And
can
that's the
stand
thing.
a
Like Will
Liverpool
said,
fan
we
as
love
long as it's
love
not
football.
Twitter.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carl.
I can stand a Liverpool fan as long as it's not on Twitter.
I
Yeah.
can't stand Twitter at all. I'm so glad I don't know how to use it.
I just want to say big up to Will and McDonald joining us. Said we all have a football fan except that lot down the road. You guys just swore you. Yeah, he did. He did, brother. Big up to you, Will. And Kyle, what's going on with the Milwaukee Spurs? You guys have a brand new logo change. So I'm digging the new color schemes. What do you guys have going on at the pub? Is there anything that you guys got going on?
Yeah. Well, it's October, so we're getting to start to think about our Thanksgiving turkey drive. Every year we do Thanksgiving baskets for families in need. We're getting our new website very soon. Could be the next couple days, could be about a week. And we'll have places on our store where you can donate to help feed families. Got our memberships up and running lightly right now. I got a really, really high-tech setup going on where I've devised a Google Sheet with 5 or 6 rows. It's been pretty good. Once we get the website going, we'll have our raffle going. We got our shirts in recently, and I'm looking into some winter merch drops, maybe some new scarves, maybe a little crew neck sweater action. It's been fun. We're having a really good turnout. If you're ever in the area, don't be a stranger. Red Line Pub is the only place in Milwaukee to watch club football. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big up. It's actually a dope pub to watch the Spurs because they only allow Spurs fans upstairs.
Well, the only reason that is because 1, we have an upstairs, and 2, there are too many of us.
Yeah. There's the link to Sidelines prediction contest. That's actually a pretty dope feature that he was saying, Bobby. It's pretty cool.
I do
I'm
like
gonna
it.
check that out for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Um, Bobby, what about you? Chocolatey, what was the Chocolicious Bobalicious? What's
Oh
going
God,
on with the channel,
God bless
brother?
him. He's hilarious. He's just got 5,000 different names for me, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Chocolicious Bobalicious to him now. Or there's the running joke now is he calls it's a common thing with Jewish to call each other Aki, which is brother.
Aki. Yeah.
Achie. I don't know why. I was on with Ben, and Brian Daigle came in the chat, and he said, "Big up my Aki to Ben." And I was going through the comments because Ben, I think, was making a coffee or doing something, and Ben, I've got access on his show, right? So I'm going through and I see it, and for some reason I said that to Ben because I know he could hear me. I'm still talking. I said, Ben, Brian Daigle's there. He said, "Big up Archie." And oh shit! So now that's the other joke. I'm Chocolate Archie now to Benny as well. So yeah, there's
That's funny.
20 different names, man. I got an
That
uncle.
is a word.
No, I'm
that
not. I just met Uncle Rod's actually recently, but I'm not really in too many groups there, Thammer. If you need to get in contact with me, by all means, get my number through Leo here, or Jacob's got it as well over United Spurs. But I'm right here as well. Three Spurs Boys is our channel. At the Three Spurs Boys on that Twitter thingy, and I'm not too sure. I think tomorrow we're going to be having a little live FIFA tournament, me and the kids here, so you can watch me get my ass kicked by a bunch of little kids. It should be interesting.
Wow, that's
Um,
Bobby.
yeah,
You know, I'm one of your only fans on that shit.
that's true. You're
You
the
know,
only one.
everybody's got
Actually, you're my only fan. You're my only
yeah.
fan. I don't need to start
Everybody goes
OnlyFans. I've already
against
got
you,
started.
bro.
He's right there. He's my only
Yeah,
fan. Right
yeah.
there. You only got to support everybody else supporting the damn kids. Makes me sick. Thanks, Leo. What?
It's all right, bro. I like this.
Makes me sick.
Nobody ever roots for me.
Everybody was rooting for you when you were playing against me.
You don't even
Nope.
check.
I was
your
rooting for
brother.
the homie
Shut
Bobby
up.
K.
Big up my brother.
Yeah.
You're awesome, man. You're awesome.
Yeah, no. So
Yeah, on
Bobby's
YouTube,
channel
it's
is
the
Three
Three
Spurs
Spurs
Boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
That one. And on Twitter, it's the Three Spurs Boys. So the number 3 in the Spurs Boys. When Leo takes a comment down, you'll see it's in the name there. So
Yeah.
yeah, but we have
Yeah.
more of a
So
lighthearted show. For those of you who don't know, we just keep it light and have a little bit of fun. Our Saturday night show is an adult show where we just get pretty much stupid, for
yeah,
lack of better words,
yeah.
and it's more of a kind
I
of
know
a
you. Kyle needs to make his debut on in the Kuvan the King.
over the Kang. You need to bring him over.
My
You tell
job.
me,
Yeah.
man. We'll book the next slot for the two of you. The 21st of October is the next show.
21st of October.
21st of October, 5:30
You would
p.m. my
enjoy
time.
it. He would enjoy it. I think he would, bro.
We
I
do.
mean-
It's 3 segments basically, Kyle. The first half hour we do talk about football. We get through it pretty much as quickly as we can. Then we play a game, and then we talk a little bit more about football. And then the last half hour is us just playing a game that should take 10 minutes that we make 40 minutes, and then we treat our guests, we lie to our guests and cheat on them and let whoever we want to win. So
Yeah, obviously.
Organized chaos.
It
Organized
sounds
chaos.
like
it
a
is somewhat organized chaos. Yeah.
Oh.
But
Well,
yeah,
so awesome to
appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, Leo. It's always good to be on with you, man. Yeah, much love to
I
you, bro.
appreciate
You always
you,
checking
bro.
in on me as well. You always sending me a message, man. Much appreciated.
Of course,
That's my little homie right
Of
there.
course.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, you guys, thank you guys for listening to this live or in playback or however it is you get your fix. We appreciate you. Big up to everybody. I can't wait to get back in the pub. I like bringing the match day vlogs for you guys. So
Those
big
are
up. Thanks
wicked.
for all the support. And so, yeah, you guys have a wonderful night and get some rest. Tomorrow's another day, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Come on, you
Come
Spurs.
on, you
Get
Spurs.
in. Come on, you Spurs. Leave you out.